What's up, everybody? Back at the race. About to go collect my Prix, watch the pros race. Wait, here we go. All right. Looks fast.
Sharon, let's go, let's go, let's go.
All right, looks like Sharon is in the breakaway. Going to get that Prix.
Yeah.
Alrighty, what's your number?
727.
727. Alrighty.
We're going to go ahead and mix it up and throw out a Prix lap on this time across the line. I'll be ringing the bell.
There you go, I just need you to sign for it.
Oh, wow. All right.
Alrighty, could you can sign upside down, it's fine, just right there. Cool.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right.
Jason Perez coming through from Region of Los Angeles in the lead of that breakaway.
All right, well, got my Prix, got my heart rate monitor. Wasn't exactly like a Wahoo or a Garmin, but hey, here we are. All good. Looks like Sharon got caught. They got like 15 minutes left in this race. Let's see how it shakes out. And that's how it ended. Eddie Huntsman took the win. Looks like, unfortunately, there was a crash heading into the third corner before that sprint finish. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it looked pretty bad. I think like 20 racers didn't place. And I saw one guy get lifted into the truck, and I really hope that you're doing all right and that you're recovering quickly. So, all right, let's get to the race. Here we go. Barry Wolfe Grand Prix Cat 4. I'm your host, Crit Dad. Welcome to the show. The first part of this video you guys are watching was me going back to the race and picking up my Prix that I had no idea that I won in the first place. So, what is a Prix? Well, we're going to get into that, so buckle up. But I hope you enjoyed the vloggy, experimental footage in the beginning. Yeah, just like my racing, these videos are all just trial and error, figure it out as I go. We'll get there, fam. We'll get there. This race, I'm dead already. I did such a big day the day before, and I shouldn't have. But I have a problem deciding what day to do, Saturday or Sunday. There's so many rides on Saturdays that I want to do, and then the race on Sunday. I don't know if you guys struggle with this, and I'm sick now, paying the price for going too hard for the last 2 weeks. LA Invitational, and then Brandon's birthday ride, Smash Fest. Anyway, I wonder how you guys handle the day before the races. Do you just do zone 2, do the little sweet spot, keep it under 90 minutes? Are you disciplined? Are you like me and you just keep going until you explode? So that's where I'm at. So this race, I just hung out in the back. One of the reasons I did show up is that I wanted to get some course reconnaissance done. This is a one-off race. It only happens once a year. I wanted to learn the course, so for next year I would be ready. So just real quickly, this course is like a 3-corner crit. That dogleg we just went through, you can go full speed. Coming up to this back corner, there's some street reflectors you got to be aware of. Otherwise, I felt like being on the inside was the best place to be throughout this entire track. The outside seemed to get slowed down and boxed in. Most of the acceleration happened after the first tight corner. That's where mostly the group would accelerate and then pull through that dog leg, and then things would slow up to the third corner. So that's where I made my attack, as we'll see in a minute here. But most of the attacks actually came after the first corner. Learning a course is huge to crit racing. I've done Eldo probably 20 times, and because of that I know all the nuances, the ins and outs, the bumps, the wind, where to be at what time. And knowing a course, if you're not the strongest, fastest rider, is going to be a huge advantage. Even if you are a strong, fast rider, knowing the course is huge. So anyway, here we are. I'm in the back. I'm going to try and keep my heart rate under 130 beats per minute. In the beginning of a race, you can just hang out back here, and I've gotten my fitness up to where it's not really a big deal. I understand that a lot of folks in the Cat 4 field are just trying to hang on, and that's where I was last year. So wherever you're at and you're racing, you know, be proud of the accomplishments you're making. If the whole race is at threshold and you're just trying to hang on, then that's all good. So anyway, here I am, back of the pack, just chilling out. I think for the first like 8 to 10 minutes, this is a good place to be. Usually up in the front, in the beginning of a race, a lot of the people who are really excited and amped up are going to follow out those attacks, and everyone has a ton of energy, so it's really not common for a breakaway to happen immediately after like the first or second lap. So usually it's okay to be back here and just sort of calm down and see what's going to happen. The only disadvantage to tail gunning or being at the back of the pack is that you can't follow attacks out, and we're going to get into that in a minute here. You'll see that a breakaway does happen, and I'm way too far back to even chase it, but like I said, I'm dead tired, so I'm not going to do anything anyway. But I forget that I'm tired halfway through this race, and then I start to attack, and we'll get into that. So here we go. Alright, here we are, 11 minutes into the race, and this is where the first attack goes, which establishes the breakaway, which ends up, spoiler alert, going all the way to the end. And I don't have awesome footage being all the way in the back, but you can see the two riders up there who take off, and the group doesn't immediately respond to the attack. I can't tell because I'm all the way in the back, but we're only kind of up to 26, 27 miles per hour, and I went back and looked at those guys' Strava, and they're doing 30, 32 to create a gap. I try to get a peek around the corner to see how far ahead they are, and they're already way out there. And those guys did like 26.8 miles per hour, which is what we did the entire time, and I think it was just two people just grinding high wattages, and so super impressive. Anyway, that's the first attack, which establishes the breakaway. And then going into 15 minutes here, this is the second attack. I'm saying go up all the way in the back. Useless. I noticed it was either Ben or Will Patton, and they've been winning at CBR, and they're super strong, so I knew that was a crucial attack to follow. And so this is the disadvantage of being all the way in the back of the group. You're not bike racing really, so I couldn't follow that attack. There's nothing I can do here. I'm stuck. So after those guys took off, they established a gap for about 5 minutes or 2 or 3 laps, and I really wanted to either become part of that breakaway or catch them. Whenever there's a breakaway off the front, I have to get it. I don't like sprinting for third, but you know, here we go. So we're at 6 to go. You heard the bell there, which indicates it's a Prix lap. And what is a Prix? That is the title of this video. A Prix, taken from a French word, le prime, spelled P-R-I-M-E, literally translates to bonus or gift, premium. It's essentially a lap in the race, which is indicated by a bell or sign, letting everybody know in the field that the next rider who crosses the start finish wins a little gift. And so that could be today like a heart rate monitor, or a gift certificate to Cheesecake Factory, a pair of socks, chamois butter, whatever the sponsor is, whoever's donated a prize, that's what a Prix is. Anyway, you can see an attack goes here on the inside, and I really want to get a part of this. I'm pretty stoked to see this right now. We're up to 33 miles per hour. This is exactly the timing that I want to counter the group. So we're going to see how long this pull goes, and if it slows down, if everything starts to fan out, I'm going to counter and do my darndest to catch the breakaway. So as you can see here, things start to slow up. I find a little hole, I snap, create a gap. I'm not trying to bring the group with me. They can become motivated by my attack. That's great. You know, we still need to catch the main breakaway. I see the two riders up there, Ben and Will, those two little dots, and I'm just going for it. Like I said, I don't even realize this is a preem lap. I'm just trying to catch the breakaway. And this is my effort for the day. Like I've said already like 6 times, I was dead tired from yesterday. So I'm giving it everything I got just to catch these guys. And that is enough, you know. I've done my work for the day. I've stitched together this breakaway. They see I'm coming. They start to sit up. They realize they're caught. I feel good about my effort, having at least stitched together one breakaway. So the announcer says my number, and I just think he's congratulating me for catching the breakaway. But no, it was indeed a preem for the field. I had assumed, along with a lot of other people, that a preem goes to the first rider over the line. So if they call a preem during a breakaway, a lot of people just think it's over because the breakaway is going to get it. But it was really hard to hear with like the Doppler effect. Kind of, you're in different parts of the group. He's speaking and you can't hear it, and he said preem for the field, so you had to listen for field, but there was no signs. And then here's another example where like this is a preem lap and we're doing 23 and everyone's looking at each other and nobody's going. So it's not the only example. It was like at the pro race on my Instagram stories. This was a $260 preem. People are just rolling over the line. So it wasn't just our group. And I remember posting that, and some riders in the pro race DMing me being like, what? $260? And so I even saw the guy who won when I was leaving, and I said, bro, congrats, go get your money. And he's like, huh? And he turned around and he rode back to the prize station. So we have come full circle with the intro in the beginning. I didn't know I won a preem, as well as plenty of other people. So preems can go to the field even if there's a breakaway, and if you're new to bike racing, this is probably the most complicated explanation of a preem ever. But anyway, we are rolling into I think 2 to go. So this is a mistake I made where like I didn't really realize we had more. I thought it was like a 40-minute race. I don't know, whatever. I still wanted to catch the break. Every time there's a breakaway, I'm just like, come on, let's go. I'm always trying to attack and catch the break whenever there's a breakaway. And in hindsight, don't put your luggage on the track. That was weird. In hindsight, with 1 to go or 2 to go is not the time to attack if that breakaway is just long gone. If you can't see them anymore, then just back off, because you know, this is fun for the group. We're keeping it spicy, but I pull through thinking like I'm going to be a hero again. But that breakaway is just so far gone. But it gives me some experience up here to try and take this corner, pedal through instead of coast, which I do. And then these Velosport kids behind me were just grinding it out the whole race, dude. Props to those guys. They were just working so much, and I'm like elbowing through, and then I'm just like, okay, what are we doing now? Because are we going into 1 to go? Because this is bad timing. So don't do that. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you're a pro team and you're creating a lead out train, it's a completely different story, but this is a Cat 4s, and typically you want to be ready with 1 to go with some energy and not be having done a pull. And speaking of energy, I'm going to dig deep and give this one all I got with my eye infection and sinus cold. Don't worry, you guys can't catch it from where you're watching. So there's not a whole ton for me to talk about with the race 1 to go at this point because I'm so far out of position. I just did that big pull, so I kind of messed up there. And my motivation for the race is always just to win. So like you can see it got the best of me with 2 to go because I just kept thinking like maybe we can catch the breakaway. So I was using that motivation to just keep pulling when in reality it was gone. And I just have a certain mindset where I'm not really interested in like sprinting for the third or the bunch sprint because it can be dangerous, or it can be like a place where crashes happen. But having said all that, it is super vital and important to understand positioning and to practice it. So it's something that I'm willing to change my mind on. I know it sounds like an excuse every time I say I don't like sprinting for third, but it's simply just how my motivation works. But moving forward, I do think it's important to understand the positioning. And so at this point in the race, before the last 2 corners, you need to be about top 10, top 6 wheels. And this is where a lot of people started launching. And this is the same as Eldo. With about 1,000 meters to go, people just start picking it up. And I guess that if you're up there and you're going for it, then that's great training. So also at the same time, if you're back here and you just kind of want to stay out of the chaos and you're going to sort of launch a sprint with me and do your best and get 20th or something, I think that's okay as long as you're playing it safe. Because what happens in these races is that at the top 10, maybe not in Cat 4, but either way, there's people that are leading out, and those lead out trains or those riders who are leading out in the front, they're going to be fading and falling back. So when you're doing like a really far back sprint effort like this, you're gonna have to watch out for other people who just are not competing at all. So it's sort of like, don't put your head down and like go 10 tenths, but you know, you can push a little bit from here just to, you know, tell your friends that you got a better place than them. But yeah, watch out for people that are falling back. And you know, it's, people say don't sprint for 20th. It's true, don't go bananas because a lot of the riders up in the front are going to be falling back, so you got to watch out for that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'm working on a whole series of Eldo races that are just my trials and errors. I kind of like do one thing the whole entire race and see how it works, and then I sort of balance them at the end. Yeah, so I hope you guys can get something out of that. Like I said, I'm not feeling super hot, so I'm probably going to not be riding this week or racing at all. So I'll see you guys, I don't know, wherever. Eldo for sure. Manhattan, what's next? I don't know. Okay, see you next one. Bye. We'll win a pair of chamois butter or Crocs or some soup kitchen, soup plantation gift certificate. I don't know. I really get excited about the prospect of a win, and when the breakaways win, that sort of takes the wind out of my, what am I talking about? Anyway, top 10 wheels before the last 2 corners, and then for the last corner itself, very, very much up in the front, if not the front, right? Or I don't know, somebody else tell me.